Hi, I'm Jacqueline Valio. Welcome to Creating a Virtual Field Trip with Google Slides Training Module. Lesson 1, an Introduction to Virtual Field Trips. A virtual field trip is an online guided exploration to any destination that includes a collection of images, videos, and web pages that are structured within a learning platform such as Google Slides. The purpose of this training is to provide teachers with the skills necessary to design an engaging and interactive field trip to any destination. Recent school safety guidelines have prevented teachers from organizing in-person on-site field trips, a time-honored tradition and student-treasured activity. An exciting alternative to traditional field trips is to take students on virtual excursions. Let's compare and contrast traditional field trips and virtual field trips. Traditional field trips are highly memorable. Students' senses are stimulated. They may have opportunities to touch, taste, and smell. There is also a great deal of social interaction. Students engage in real-world experiences and have the opportunity to be immersed in different cultures. On the other hand, traditional field trips can be costly and are often reliant upon budget approval. There are always safety issues when traveling. It can be stressful for teachers as they are held accountable for large groups of students, often in large crowded places. There are limited destinations. I don't foresee any in-person field trips to other parts of the world being approved, and definitely no dangerous locations. Virtual field trips are cost-free if you design them yourself. Destinations are limitless. They are safe. There is no traveling involved. There's no teacher accountability or responsibility with a large group in large crowds. You can control what your students learn. They are engaging, interactive, and reusable. However, designing virtual field trips can take time. There is the option of purchasing them, but the choices are limited and they cost money. Teachers lack the technology skills to create well-developed virtual field trips. This drawback is addressed with this training, so let's get started. Before we dive right into training, let's take a look at a sample of a well-developed virtual field trip created with Google Slides. This Google Slides presentation is a virtual field trip to Valley Forge National Historical Park in Pennsylvania. The title slide should be interesting and relative to the destination in order to captivate students. Here's where you would add a background or anchor images so they cannot be clicked on. There's also voice narration as indicated by the audio icon. A navigation button was added and hyperlinks to the next slide. The next slide can have a little introduction to your field trip with a catchy image or a GIF. This text is anchored so it cannot be clicked on. You can also make the experience a little more exciting by taking off to get things started. This is just a GIF, but you can use an image or a clipped video as well. Next, we are in the air. Here you can add directions to enter Google Earth and insert the hyperlink to your Google Earth location. When students click on the link, it takes them to their location in Google Earth. Then they would search for their destination. This is a great real-world connection because students get to visualize where the destination is in relation to where they are. Students would then go back to Google Slides and continue. You can also add in the landing, optional of course, but just a fun idea. Now that you have arrived, it is a good idea to insert an image of a guide. This can be your Bitmoji or a fun character of your choice, and add interactive activities. For example, you can ask your students what they already know about the destination and what they want to know about the destination. On the next slide, there is a trip itinerary. The list of things to see can be linked to other slides if you want to give students the autonomy to choose their route. We'll look at 2 of the stops. Let's start with number 1, the National Memorial Arch. As you can see when you click on the link, it takes you to a slide with information about the arch, and the image is hyperlinked to the arch in Google Earth. Let's try it out. Google Earth provides more information on the arch and an aerial view that you can zoom in on by clicking anywhere. By clicking on the person icon in the right-hand corner, you can click anywhere there's a blue line or dot and get a street view of the arch. Getting back to Google Slides, students will advance to the next slide. Here we see an extra information slide, which redirects to a website to explore more information. Students can then navigate to the next stop or go back to the itinerary. Stop 2 is Muhlenberg's Brigade. Here I added information and a clickable image, which takes the students directly to Muhlenberg's Brigade via Google Earth. Next, students can explore the inside of a cabin by clicking on the video, which was modified by cutting the start and stop time. You can make your virtual field trip as long or as short as needed. At the end, it is a good idea to add a reflection activity. One suggestion is to have students fill out a postcard summarizing their favorite part of the virtual field trip. Now that we've covered the benefits of designing your own virtual field trip for your classes, and we reviewed a sample of a virtual field trip containing different interactive elements, you are ready to learn how to set up your own virtual field trip with Google Slides. Please complete the Lesson 1 assignment. It is a collaborative discussion in Padlet that will not be graded, but it will help to provide feedback on why you are taking this course and what you hope to learn. Then complete the Lesson 1 assessment. Once you have completed the Lesson 1 assignment and assessment, please move on to Lesson 2 by clicking on the Next button or by selecting Lesson 2, setting up Google Slides from the menu bar at the top of your training site.